Congress hears this morning from an Army officer who criticized American policy on hostages held overseas. Lieutenant Colonel Jason Amerine is being investigated by the Pentagon after giving lawmakers a warning. He says the government failed to form a comprehensive plan to recover American hostages, and that cost lives. Nancy Cortez is on Capitol Hill. Nancy, good morning.
Good morning. You might be surprised to learn that it is the FBI that is in charge of hostage recovery, not just here at home, but abroad as well, even though it lacks the intel of the CIA or the manpower of the U.S. military. That's just one reason that Amerine says so few hostages make it home.
When I need my government, it seems that I have been totally abandoned.
American aid worker Warren Weinstein was held by al-Qaeda for 3.5 years before he was killed in a U.S. drone strike in January. His family called out elements of the U.S. government for their inconsistent and disappointing assistance. Deborah Tice was critical, too. Her son, Austin Tice, was kidnapped in Syria nearly 3 years ago. He's still alive, but 6 other American hostages have been killed in the past 9 months. She spoke about her son's case to CBS News.
They were held with others, and those others, except for the British, are free. That's the strongest indication that freedom was an option for them.
Most Americans probably assume that if something were to happen to them abroad, that every effort is being made to bring them home. Is that true?
No, that is not true.
Republican Congressman Duncan Hunter sits on the House Armed Services Committee. He got a call in 2013 from Lieutenant Colonel Jason Amerine, a strategist at the Pentagon who had been tasked with evaluating ways to bring Taliban captive Sergeant Bo Bergdahl home from Afghanistan. Amerine told Hunter no one was looking for the other half-dozen hostages in the region, but that when he had spoken up, he was ignored.
He could see what DOD was doing, what State Department was doing, what the FBI was doing, and how there was nobody coordinating anything whatsoever. Colonel Amerine was one of the people who said, hey, this is messed up, and that's why he's under investigation.
Both the Army and the FBI declined to comment on Amerine's case. But on Facebook last month, the Army officer again called for action to resolve the Bureau's impotence to help our hostages overseas, as well as our government's disorganized efforts across all agencies. Hunter says after Amerine blew the whistle, the Army prevented him from retiring and even briefly stopped his pay.
He's trying to save lives. That's all he's trying to do. He didn't cross any lines. He didn't give out classified information, didn't do anything crazy except talk to somebody in Congress.
But isn't it a problem if members of the military start coming to members of Congress when they have a problem instead of going up their chain of command?
It is a problem to a certain extent, but not when it involves the hostage policy of the United States of America.
Congressman Hunter has introduced an amendment that would put one person in charge of coordinating hostage recovery across the U.S. government. The Army wouldn't explain to us why Amerine is being investigated. They said that that's protocol. They don't comment, but they would say that it would be against the law for them to be investigating him, Sharon, solely because he spoke to a member of Congress.
All right. Thank you, Nancy Cortez.